Hey, and welcome to MTB WOD number 4. Just double checking. This is Thursday the 15th workout. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on a little bit of grip strength and a little bit of upper body endurance. It's going to be the max effort upper day. So we're going to really go for strength in the part B. And then part C, what we're going to do is we're going to use some kit that I don't have at home. You may have noticed that we're in a different place. This is the old stomping ground. This is CrossFit Glasgow. Absolutely amazing gym. Used to coach down here, used to come here to train. Really great place, great community. If you ever get a chance, check it out. This is Arch 2, so this is the second of the halls. So it's a big facility, there's 2 halls. Absolutely great place. Massive competition style rig in here. Really good. One of the pieces of kit that I don't have at home that we've got here are these guys. Ski ergs. So I'm not expecting everyone else to have one of those at home. I'm going to use one of those. I'm going to recommend you either use the rower or use a bike, just a bike on the road, or if you've got like an assault bike, anything like that, spin bike, anything you can get on. So part A is going to be a 3-minute hang. So we're just going to accumulate 3 minutes in a hang. 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, or a minute, that kind of thing, until you get to 3 minutes total accumulated hanging. Then we're going to do 250 meters on the, any of your cardio machines. I'm going to use the ski. 250 meters on there, and then we're going to do 10 box jumps at 24 inches or 12 inches, or whatever you can set up. Stack some plates up on the floor, anything you can set up there. We're going to do that twice, that second part. So the 250 meters and the 10 box jumps, we're going to do that twice. After that, we're going to do part B, which is going to be 3 sets of max negative pull-ups, and we'll run through the technique for those. Then part C is a surprise for just now. Right, let's get into it. So you got a timer running somewhere that you can see. Just try and rack up 3 minutes, okay? I'm going to use my watch on this one. So, let's get started. You'll probably find that as you're doing this hanging, you will feel your lats start to release a little bit. You'll feel them all the way down your back kind of releasing. You'll feel your armpits starting to release, the fascia in there. So it's a good thing. I'm hanging passively, sometimes actively, moving about a bit. The next thing I'm going to try is a little one where you go underhand on the grip and you go quite close on the grip. And you should really feel this starting to loosen off the lats and the armpits. Okay, so these are the 2 bits of kit we're going to be using here. I've got the ski erg out. I'm going to do 250 meters on that. I'm going to jump onto the box there and do 10 box jumps. I'm going to do that twice as a warm-up, okay? And then we'll get straight into part B. So, after yesterday's 5K test, you should probably find that your legs don't have as much pop in them as you'd expect doing that. So, take it easy on the box jumps, watch out for yourself, scale to whatever height you need on the box jumps, don't go over the top, it wants to be manageable. Main things to watch out on the box jumps, as you're seeing me do there, you want to take off 2 feet together, you can land however you want, but you have to finish the rep, both feet together, standing tall on the box, and under control as well, okay? managed to find where the new sound system's hooked up in the gym, so I've turned that off, so hopefully the audio should be a fair bit better. Right, now what we're going to get on to is part B. This is the strength portion. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do 3 sets of maximum negative pull-ups. The negative pull-up is where you start from the top of the pull-up, so climb up, use a box to get yourself to the top of the pull-up or jump. Once you're at the top there, what you want you to do is you want to hold that position for a second and slowly lower to a count of 3 to 5. I would say closer to 5 is probably better. And what I mean by a count is you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at 5, you should be fully locked out in the arms. Feet should not be touching the floor. So when you work through the full range of motion, don't get to here and go and just let go of it and drop to the floor. Try and work through that. Okay, let's get started. So in terms of setup for the pull-ups, or the negative pull-ups, what we're going to look to do is set up with our hands overhand and just outside shoulder width. We want to try and point our knuckles to the ceiling. We don't want to be round in this position where our fingers are bearing the brunt of it. Try and get your hand wrapped all the way around. The other thing to look for is that you, when you get set up, pull down with your shoulders. So your shoulders are nestled down in the sockets. Don't let yourself get pulled into that passive pull, okay? Your biceps should be nowhere near your ears, is what I'm basically saying here. So make sure your shoulders are nice protected there. Let's make it so that if you, in terms of reps for this, I'm going to go for 3 sets of 5. I think 5 is reasonable. You're really just trying to get as much time under tension as possible. And that's what these eccentric or lowering movements are about. It's just getting as much time as possible with load. And if you're not that au fait with pull-ups or okay with them, then this is a good way of getting a load of time under tension. If you find you struggle with this, what I would do is plant the feet on a box and just do as much as you can loaded through the arms and try and accommodate some of the resistance by using the box with your feet on it. So I'll just do a demo rep of that. So if you're looking to scale this movement and you want to do the negatives but you can't lower yourself under control for that sort of 3 to 5 seconds, then what I would do is keep one foot on the box and put as much resistance as you can through the body and just take up the slack with that leg. Okay, I can go from pretty much from like one hand, and you can do it fine. Don't use that much resistance to the leg. Basically just do it, add a little bit from the leg to enable you to be able to do the reps. And try and aim for that 3 sets of 5, okay? Take a minute or so rest in between. These are quite taxing because you're spending so much time, as I say, under tension on the muscles. Take a good bit of rest so you can give it your all in the next set. There we are, that's negative pull-ups done. They're a good one if you get a chance. If you've got a pull-up bar in the house or something you can do pull-ups on, do a couple of those every day. Your ability to do standard pull-ups will increase immeasurably. I'd say it's one of the best ways of being able to get a strong pull-up if you struggle with them at the moment. Certainly one of the things I'm going to be chucking in to get my pull-ups back on their game. It's also really good for starting to get strong back and shoulders and start to get them protected. If you want to avoid injury in mountain biking, get strong shoulders. The amount of dislocated shoulders I've seen out there is too high. So get strong shoulders. It's a terrible joint, make it strong. Okay, so part C, the Metcon today, is going to be a good one. I'm going to use some of the kit that I don't have at home. We're going to use the ski, which can be substituted for the rower or an exercise bike or running or a bicycle, any of that. We're going to do 500 meters on the ski. We're going to do 10 dumbbell or kettlebell snatches, or power snatches in this case. We're going to do a full snatch, and we'll run through the technique for that in a second. And then we're going to do 5 box jumps. Okay, so onto the 24 or the 12 inch, or sorry, 24 or the 20 inch that we talked about earlier. We're going to do 3 rounds for time on that. Okay, so it's going to be fairly quick. You're only going to do 1500 meters on the cardio machine, but then getting into the dumbbell snatches or kettlebell snatches, wherever weight you've got kicking about, and then into the box jumps, the legs will start to get quite tired on that one. So it's going to be a dicey one. Let's run through the technique of the movements. I'm not going to run through the ski necessarily because, to be honest, the likelihood of having one of those nearby is pretty low. We'll maybe use them in the future at some point, but keeping this backyard and ghetto as possible. Just use whatever kit you've got to get a bit of cardio in there for 500 meters or equivalent. I'd say you're looking at about a 2-minute burst of cardio if you don't know how far you're going on a machine. Let's run through the technique and let's get started. Okay, the prescribed weight for today for the snatch is going to be 24 or 25 kilos, depending if you're using a kettlebell or a dumbbell for the gents, and 16 to 20 for the ladies. You can scale it however you need or however you have to because of the kit you've got, but just get some work in on that one and find a weight that's applicable. I'm saying 25, it's a good way to go for. So with these, we're going to set up similar to we set up for the kettlebell swing. Start with the feet just outside shoulder width. We're going to sit back into a sort of a deadlift position here with a nice flat back, pushing the knees out to the side, keep a nice vertical shin. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the other end out to the side. We're going to push back with the knees and come up with the hips. Explosively, keeping the arm nice and straight, and follow on through until we're locked out overhead. Okay, then we're going to come down to the shoulder, and then down to the ground. The main thing is to keep the weight close to the body on this one, okay? So from here, I'm going to keep the weight nice and close, and follow through, okay? Don't do that slow, because it's going to really fatigue you, but just to show the sort of technique on that. That's 1 rep, swap to the other arm, do the second rep, so you can do 5 each side, okay? Sweet. Any questions? Just hit me up in the comments below. pretty short, sharp one, 10 minutes. Good thing about it is, no matter what your skill level is, you can just sprint at that. And the people who are faster and stronger can go faster and stronger. There's no high rep ranges really in that. You'll notice the pace of your cardio element starts to deteriorate a little bit through that. I suddenly did on the ski, I went from sub 2 minute, 2 minute 5, 2 minute 10 pace for the 500 meters, so it's a good one. In terms of the snatches, whether it's a barbell snatch or any kind of snatch really, any of the Olympic lifts or any of the derived movements, like that was there with the dumbbell, you really want to make sure you're using the hips. Same as the kettlebell swing, everything should come from the hips. They're your prime mover in those movements. The fact that your arm's holding onto the kettlebell or the dumbbell is merely coincidental. That's just the part that's attaching it to you. The thing that's doing the work is your hips. So it's the hip opening that makes you explode upwards, almost like a jump, makes the weight start to move, and then you just follow it through with the arm and lock it out. All right, let's get some mobility on. So to finish up today, we're going to do some back mobility. Your back's been getting a lot of tax this week. From Monday to now, there's been a lot of movements which have required you to keep a neutral spine, so keeping that straight spine, and that requires a lot of muscle recruitment. There's also the issue that depending on what your profession is, depending on what you do for most of your waking life, it can mostly have a negative effect on your back mobility. You'll tend to get things like this slight kyphosis, which is where your upper back rounds over into this position, which means that if you try and get overhead, you're going to really struggle. So if we can open up the upper back, you've suddenly got a much bigger range of motion. You'll tend to see a lot of guys on the bike, they'll ride with a hunched upper back, so their shoulders are getting as far away from them as they can, and the lower back might have a little bit of a round in it as well. So we're going to aim to be better than that. We're going to aim to have the best back mobility out there on the trail so that we don't fatigue ourselves quite so much. If we've got a strong core and a mobile back, we can get into much stronger positions, much more agile positions, and we should fatigue a lot less. So one of the stretches I'm just going to show you just now is one you can do absolutely anywhere, and this is just to start to mobilize the thoracic spine. So when I say thoracic, I mean anywhere from the mid to upper. It's that sort of, that region there. That's where you get a lot of the rounding coming from. So what you can do is you can plant your hands on the wall just below shoulder height with a straight arm. You step back a little, and then what you're going to do is you're going to drive your chest towards the floor, keeping your hands where they are, okay? So you'll start to feel this in the upper back. And just try and sink your chest as close to the ground as possible, whilst keeping the arms locked and the shoulders in a strong position. And just try and sink into it. So breathe out and get lower, breathe in, tight up, and then breathe out and get lower. Try and do 3 sets of that for the max amount of time you can really hold it. I was going to say comfortably, but within the realms of like a 1 to 7 on the pain scale of 10. If you get any pain in the shoulders, any nipping at all, push away from the wall a bit more, and that should go away. If it doesn't, then hit us up in the message below and we'll find a different way of you mobilizing the back. So once you've done the back mobility on the wall there, or when you get down on the foam roller, or anything else you've got kicking about that you can use instead, and drape yourself over that, focusing on the mid to upper back. I'm just going to show you that now. There, that's the bad boy. So sit the hips down on the ground, get that mid back on the foam roller. You can reach overhead and drape yourself over and just relax into it, or hug around the body and start to oscillate from side to side, moving it up and down the back. If you find some bits that are really sore or feel like they need more attention, spend some time in there, camp out on that bit. Try tensing the abs and pulling your lower back down to the ground while draping yourself over. The other thing you can do is you can put a bit of weight on your chest. If you've got a kid or anything like that's climbing about on you, or you've got a plate, just put the plate on there, hug it around and move from side to side. That'll really open up the thoracic spine and allow you to mobilize a little bit better in there. Right, that's that. Do 3 sets of that, I would say. 3 sets of about, you know, a minute or 2 on that upper back, sorry. And really just try and get that moving as well as you can, okay? You're gonna see the benefits of that, both in training, out on the trail, and just in life in general.